Today is going to be just a day in the life video, and I'm filming this the day before I'm uploading it because I am fed up of not uploading to YouTube. I've been away for a month and I'm annoyed that I had this disruption because I was happy with the videos I've been making this year, but I just ran out of steam all of a sudden and didn't know what I wanted to post about. I'm finding it hard to get back on the horse. So I'm just going to make a day in the life video, and I know those aren't usually very popular anymore, but that's all I've got. Today is just going to be a very realistic day in the life of an illustrator whose employment opportunities have drastically changed in the past year. So I guess I'll start there. Talk about some things I've been feeling in the past month since I've been away from YouTube, and it's mostly been financial stress. There's been lots of changes in the industry in recent years. I think I'm gradually getting settled into this new worry, I think, because I have been very fortunate to have a really great illustration career up until this point. So today I'm going to go to one of my other jobs and I'm cleaning a holiday home. I really like this job. I like that it gets me out of the house. I like that it's good exercise. The idea of working a 9 to 5 in a traditional place of employment fills me with dread. It's not something I've ever wanted to do, and I've always worked full-time. I've always probably worked more than full-time because that's what you do when you're freelance, but it's always felt like it was sort of on my terms because I could shape my day. I could decide what time I was going to get to my desk. I could decide how I was going to prioritize different tasks through the day. I could decide when I wanted to take a break. I could get out and enjoy the sunshine. Just the idea of going to a place every single day, 5 days a week, signing in at the exact same time, signing out at the exact same time, taking the exact same route to work, coming home and recovering from being out of your comfort zone, being somewhere that's probably puts you on edge, because everywhere I've ever worked, in an establishment, has put me on edge. Just the idea of having to go back to that's not the life that I envisioned for myself, and I worked hard so that I didn't have to do that, so that I could have a job that suited my sensibilities, my need for independence and some level of freedom and control over my days. It's not like I can find other freelancing work because AI is coming after a lot of roles that you can do from home. So that's really depressing as well. We are being forced into traditional employment, and I don't know, you can see that as a way of gaining greater control over us. I just wanted to introduce this video and just kind of share a little update with you. But I need to make the most of the dry weather now and cycle to the house I'm going to be cleaning. And when I get back, I would really like to work on a painting. Yesterday I went out and I was drawing on the shoreline and I had a lovely time, as I always do. I'd like to make a painting from some of the footage I took yesterday, so I'm hoping I can come back and have some time to do that.
Is this boy? Hello? Hello, perfect. Look at this perfect boy. Perfect little doggy. I love you forever, my baby. Love you forever.
I just got back and I fed the dogs their dinner and I had my second sandwich and I had a cup of tea. Realised that I'm actually really tired, physically tired. I'm not very fit and I cycled there and back. It was very tiring. Craig's going to finish work in about half an hour, I think, if he's not late out, which he often is. Then we're going to have some dinner. I decided that we could have egg fried rice tonight, except with tofu, of course, because we're vegan. Special fried rice. Going to chop up some veg really small and crumble the tofu. We've also got some vegetable gyozas in the freezer, so I thought we could have some of those. As I was cycling along, I've been thinking about the concept of freedom and how it's actually something I really value in my life, and I can look back on decisions I've made throughout my life that where I've actually been seeking that sense of freedom, because I think that capitalism is very repressive. It kind of like funnels you into these really narrow avenues for life simply because you are paying for your existence. You are selling the hours of your day in order to buy the things you need to survive. So that's quite repressive, and it's also very hierarchical. It's very common to have a boss that you must submit to, and there's obviously many other hierarchies within capitalism as well. So it just feels really restrictive and limiting to me, and it always has. And that's coming from someone who's quite privileged. Like I'm very privileged. If you consider the world's population, I'm very privileged to be living in Scotland anyway. So yeah, I think that was a lot of why we wanted to live in the van for 3 years and travel, and that really did give us a sense of freedom to just live each day how we wanted to. But obviously we hadn't left the system. We're still very much a part of it. It's really hard to leave the system completely. It's very hard to not be within capitalism, like it's the only option that we have. And that's why it's completely okay to criticise it from within it, because we don't have any other choice to live a different way. I wish we did, and maybe in future we will. But yeah, I think van life gave us a sense of freedom, and it's probably the freest life you can live under capitalism as a regular person. Obviously, if you're a multi-millionaire / billionaire, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Since we've moved back into a typical dwelling inside a house, this little bothy that we are renting, I've been thinking about how to still live with a sense of freedom and adventure. And I think like adding variety to my day and having choice about my day, how my day looks, I consider those things to be quite freeing. Like I said earlier, having to consider full-time traditional employment now, it seems like some of my freedoms will be going. So I've been thinking about what I can do to feel free and to feel inspired and to go on little adventures if I am stuck in the 9-to-5 grind, as the majority of people are. One aspect is our choice to live on an island, to live on this Scottish island. I feel free when I'm not being perceived by other people. And cycling around these roads, there's hardly any cars, you hardly see anyone. Living on an island gives me the freedom to find peace and quiet. I feel freer to enjoy the natural world. I see so many things out on my bike rides. I see beautiful birds of prey, wading birds and seals. I always see something new. I feel like nature's a bit more undisturbed out here. And the other way I think I'm seeking freedom will be through my work as an artist. When you are stuck and it all kind of blends into one, which is what happens when you live a settled life, I think I will find freedom in my work and being able to express myself there and explore things and see what comes out of me and onto the canvas. To me, that represents freedom. If I have the freedom and the time to carry on creating, then that's a lovely thing, and I hope to do that. And speaking of that, I'm looking right now at my new easel, so I'll show you that. I found an easel at the second-hand shop here on Isla. So chuffed with it. The long-term plan is to make a little studio space, a little art space, and preferably be in a different room. It's so big I have to step right back to show you, but here it is. It's massive. It's very tall as well. I will need to trim the top off, I think, in order to have it at the height I'd like it to be. So it's kind of set up for much larger easels and boards than I intend to work from. But still, easels are not cheap, I've realised. Like, this would be a good couple of £100 to buy. So I got it for £25. I'm really chuffed with this, and I can't wait to get it set up somewhere. I'm really trying to learn the tricks of the trade when it comes to landscapes at the moment, so things like composition, light and shadows in the background and the foreground and the middle ground. And I read somewhere that it helps to work in monochrome. I definitely am finding it helpful to be sketching landscapes a lot. It would really help me out if you could like this video and then leave me a comment as well. That really helps my small channel. I'd really like to know what freedom means to you and what you'd like to be free from in the comments. Utopian conversations are very welcomed, so let me know. Also, on the topic of freedom, or that lack thereof, I wanted to mention a fundraiser that my husband and I are running for a young person called Mahmoud in Gaza in occupied Palestine. Really needs donations at the moment because he's currently living in Gaza City, which you might know is under forced evacuation. Israel is planning to invade. Him and his family are really in danger because of the blockades. There's hardly any fuel, so transporting things is just very expensive. They need money to do that, and they need money to set up in yet another new area. So please, if you have any money, I would really appreciate if you would donate to Mahmoud today. That's everything from today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will try again soon to make more content, and it will probably be as shoddy as this, but I still hope you enjoy watching. So thanks for making it to the end of this video, and lots of love to you, and see you soon. Bye.